So in this second video, I'm going to talk about the portfolio for the 2024 admission cycle. So I'd like to kind of start with this slide to say that we're a competitive program. Last year we received around 725 completed applications. From that group we make 150 offers to accept between 90 to 100 students per year. The reason why we make more offers than we have students is, of course, we anticipate that you're going to apply to multiple programs and that Carleton may not be your first choice. So that's the way that breaks down. But of the 100 students that we accept into our program every single year, 60 of those students go into design, 20 go into urbanism, and 20 go into CNS. Now, I'm at least not entirely familiar with OUAC, which happens in mid-January. If you have any questions about OUAC, please reach out to our registrar's office. But this is merely to say, in the first video I described the differences between the three majors that we have in our undergraduate program, which is conservation and sustainability, design, and urbanism. So as you're applying to OUAC or to the Carleton University admissions process to get your applicant number, it will ask you to rank your preferred majors. Now, this is a really, really important stage because while you will only submit one portfolio for our application process, when I get all the portfolios at the beginning of March, the ones for urbanism will be given to the urbanism committee. The ones for conservation and sustainability will go to the conservation and sustainability committee, and the design ones will go to design. So if you have as your ranked choice design, but you'd actually rather go into urbanism, it's going to be the wrong admissions team that adjudicates your portfolio. And if they accept you, you are now a design student as opposed to your preferred urbanism major. So please take this very seriously and read the definitions carefully. And so if you don't know what those definitions are, please look at the earlier video. Now, also what's important to note is that you will submit the portfolio through an online platform called SlideRoom. And so please, again, look at our new requirements, although I'm going to go through those requirements here. But we do have a PDF online that we really would recommend everybody downloads and that everyone just has in a folder on their computer as they're applying to our program, because that has all of the necessary information for you to be able to make this application. SlideRoom does require a $10 US fee. You pay that fee when you submit, which is actually what catches a lot of applicants out, because they're waiting until the last minute to do it. Then when they want to hit the submit button, they can't get a credit card, and then they miss the deadline. Now, if that happens to you, we will allow you to submit a day late. But of course, our preference is that this goes smoothly. So please ensure that when you hit the submit button, that you have a parent or someone that has a credit card available with you, so that you can pay that unfortunate $10 US administrative fee. Now, if we get to the portfolio itself, there are under large kind of structural thing, there are written components and there are visual components. Of the written components, there's three aspects to it. The first one is a short personal anecdote. So please tell us one thing that you feel we should know about you. Now, the advice that we give is that it should be fairly recent. So if you participated in a math Olympiad when you were in grade 6, that's not really something that's of interest to us. But, for example, it doesn't necessarily have to be this spectacular victory either. If you taught yourself how to play guitar over COVID, and now it's just something that you really, really love to do, and you feel it's a really great way of showing your personal creativity and expression. And even though you're not that great at it, it's something that you hold dear. That's something that might be what you would like to share. So it doesn't have to be big and dramatic every single time, but it does have to be real. And it does have to be something that you legitimately care about. And we'll notice it through the writing. Passion kind of flows forth. So that's what we're looking for. The second thing is why your preferred program. So here again, that ranking comes into play. If you said that you want to go into conservation and sustainability, but you write about urbanism, that will really confuse the committee. So because of that, you really need those things to line up. And then there's the written component. This is a short essay. Now, because of ChatGPT, we've had to change this significantly. There's no longer a purpose in writing, what is significant about, or those type of things. So we're now asking you to reflect on your own work and what is making your submission strong and how could it be improved. Now, a word of advice to how you write this. A lot of students often say, oh, I wish I'd photographed it better, or maybe I'd used a little bit more color, those type of things. That's not really what we're looking for when we're asking you to appraise your work. We're asking you to think critically about the themes that you've done. Like, what is it about the kind of ideas more so than the aesthetics of the work that we would like you to interrogate? So the deeper that you can go into kind of understanding why you made some of the choices that you made, the more likely you'll be successful. Now for the visual components, we have 4 required drawings. Now in the past, maybe some of you have come to our website and you would have seen that there were 6 themes of which you chose 4. We're trying something different this year. We're going to have one overarching theme in which you make 4 drawings. So the theme this year, or the term that we're wanting you to consider, is the term material. And so just to read directly from the slide, consider the material that you will use to make your portfolio application, the material that gets discarded, the material you might reuse, where does it come from, how is it made, what can it do, how can you use it in unique and inspiring ways, right? So a lot of people, let's say as an example, they're just drawing on paper, but you can also fold paper, you can bend it, you can rip it, you can, use it as part of a collage. What is it to kind of use paper in that way? Another way to think about it is that, paper is made from trees, so do you go back into the forest and consider your drawing out in the world? And so that's what the last kind of paragraph alludes to when it says, when you finished your 4 required drawings, applicants may consider situating their work in a unique space that reinforces their narrative. So maybe you bring it back out and you put it up in a bus shelter, and that's where you take the photograph, or on a brick wall, or let's say on a locker in your school. Now obviously, please stay within the confines of the law of these things. We don't want you to vandalize anything, and we don't want you, to tag or graffiti or anything like that. But the idea here is that work can have more meaning when it is reinforced through its context. So that's what we are hoping for you to consider. And then lastly, I'm going to just go back to the paragraph in the middle to say we are looking at each of the images individually, but also as a series. So this is where it would be fantastic if you can create an overarching narrative that works across the set of 4 drawings. Now the last component of the portfolio submission are the optional drawings. This really can be anything. We have had students submit quilting, fashion, crochet work. Some people have been in the performing arts, so they've also shown dance. Maybe they play an instrument and they have a parent or friend take a photo of them while they're playing in a recital. All of that type of work can be shown. Now, often, most students just submit more drawings or paintings or sculptures, and that obviously we always love to see more of those things. Others have done very unique things, let's say like fly fishing hooks or building instruments. Anything that is shop related is always of interest to us as well. The four things that I'm going to maybe put some pause on, I will I'll explain now. So the first one is a photograph. Be careful when you're submitting a photograph, because a lot of young people don't know the difference between a good photograph and a photograph of a good memory. And so what I mean by that is, let's say you're on a family holiday, it's the last night, there's this beautiful sunset over the ocean, and so you've had an amazing time, it's a beautiful place, and so you take that photo and you feel really, really great about it every single time you see that photo, because it's just such a cherished memory. For you, that is a wonderful, wonderful experience that you've captured in a photograph. For me, it's another sunset photo of which I've seen hundreds, and so for me it's not as interesting as it is cherished for you. So that's where you need to be careful with photography. If you take photography as an art medium and you're working very carefully with the f-stops and all of those types of things, and you go out purposefully to find the perfect lighting and the ideal composition and tonal range and those type of things, if afterwards you're taking it maybe into something like Photoshop and post-processing, then probably your photographs are going to be are going to be strong. But if this was just a happenstance capture, be very careful if you are going to include it. The second one is that we've increasingly seen submissions that are either Lego or things like Minecraft creations. If it's something that you can download off the internet, or you can download the instructions off the internet, that's not as important or interesting for us. The last one is that students always want to share the fact that they let's say maybe are able to model or render in Blender, maybe they have V-Ray skills, maybe they've done SketchUp or AutoCAD or Revit. If you have those skills, that's absolutely wonderful, and it'll help you as you go into and through our program, but please only show us one photograph of that. The thing is that for us, we will teach you those skills once you get into our program. So while it's great to have, and while it will help you, it's not a necessary requirement for admissions. And so, as I just said, share one of those images, but I would say leave it there. The last thing that I'll note, which is just the point at the bottom, is that unfortunately we do not accept videos, PowerPoint or Keynote presentations, or web links. So this is also really important for those that are in the performing arts, or let's say those that are in music. Sadly, we're unable to accept those file formats. So again, what best we ask is that you show us a photograph of you participating in those activities, and that you use the annotation box that is in SlideRoom to describe what your the length of time that you've done these activities, and maybe, let's say, if you write your own music, describing let's say your inspirations and how long you've been doing those things. Right. So this is the end of the second video. In the third video, I'm going to show you very briefly just some of the things that we're looking for when we're looking at the visual work.